Um, what's up? So tell me a little bit about your current plan and what you're like doing to treat your odor right now. Exactly what probiotics you're taking. I'm mostly interested in the probiotic side of stuff.
The probiotic side stuff, yeah, I'm pretty much still drinking kombucha, my homegrown kombucha, but I'm actually drinking store-bought kefir. I'm drinking Lifeway kefir. I have this weird feeling. I don't know if this is. I think it's being recording. I have this weird feeling that the store-bought kefir is more powerful, even
Than
though
homemade.
um, mm, I feel like I get better results, but I don't know. I
Okay.
can't prove it. It
Yeah,
just feels
yeah,
that way.
yeah. And maybe you're right, actually. Something that I really want to share about kefir is that, okay, according to the science and according, to the amount of bacteria that it has, and like it's supposed to be the strongest probiotic compared to kombucha. Like when I read about it and when I researched it, like I think it was pretty clear that kefir looked like the what was probably the best option. But my experience told me otherwise. I started doing my own homemade kefir. I did it with non-organic milk though, just bought some pasteurized milk from the supermarket. I started doing that kefir, and it actually worsened my odor. So the homemade kefir actually worsened my odor. And I know some people have actually had success and great results with it, but I think it's really like important to have in mind that it didn't work for me at all. And so I'm obviously gonna like share this because if it didn't work for me, I'm not gonna be so sure that it's gonna work for other TMAU software. So yeah, Kefir didn't really work that much for me for some reason. And I've talked with about 10 sufferers that have tried Kefir and it didn't work for them. So I mean, what I'm seeing is that most people doing Kefir isn't working for them for some reason. Maybe it takes a long time. Maybe they didn't brew it correctly. Maybe it just like doesn't work out well. I'm really not sure. But
Are you
that's
lactose intolerant?
no, no. But a lactose is not doesn't like it's not good for my body. It gives me acne. Um, it doesn't feel that good on my stomach. It also made me smell worse back then. Now I can drink some milk, but it's not like I feel it's the healthiest food
Right.
for me. So yeah, that's my relationship with milk. Try to avoid it. So yeah, that's something I think that kefir didn't work for me. So maybe consider that it doesn't work for you as well. I don't know. But kombucha, how much are you taking? Like, what's your plan? How many brews do you have at the same time?
How many brews do I have at the same time?
Yeah, one.
Technically, I'm gonna be honest. Technically, I'm slowing down because I ran out of bags of tea, of the black tea.
Okay.
So I still have some remaining kombucha left, and it's pretty much just vinegar, and I drink it. Uh, Maybe 1 cup.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but
Okay.
it doesn't really. I don't think it really does anything either. I do feel like it does have like the same type of properties, like uh, same type of benefits like apple cider vinegar because I
Yeah.
fermented so long that it's sour like vinegar, and I know if you drink vinegar on an empty stomach, you're not going to be that hungry. And I noticed that's the same type of situation if I drink like
So
kombucha,
it feels like drinking vinegar.
pretty much.
Okay. So you're drinking like 1 cup a day, and sometimes you're out, so you don't drink sometimes.
Yeah, I don't really drink it as much. I don't drink it consistently because I just ran out of
Okay.
the black tea.
Okay. Okay. And what measurements are you doing to make the kombucha? Like how the ones in my video?
No, I didn't do it that anymore. Because when I did, it would be too sweet even after like 3 weeks of fermenting, it would still be too sweet. So I stopped doing it. So then I just dropped it
And
back to
how
1 cup.
vinegary?
Hmm?
And how vinegar was it?
it wasn't as vinegary. With the 2 cups, you said it was like two. Basically, it was 2.5 cups. That you recommended. You said something about for every.
Yeah,
Let me see here.
I
Let me see
recommend a lot of
exactly what you
sugar.
said.
Like in my recommendations, like I actually like recommended a lot of sugar, which may be overdoing it, which I may actually be overdoing it because if you're starting off with a very small SCOBY, like maybe it won't be able to handle the amount of sugar uh, to get it all, to eat it all up in 3 weeks. So you would have to wait even more if your SCOBY hasn't grown enough. But my scobies are so big that they'll eat that amount of sugar in 2 weeks. They'll eat it up right away. So maybe you should try to like keep growing your SCOBY so that it's much bigger.
My scobies are very big. Hold on a second.
Yeah. Yeah. You have any picks?
Okay, so I technically have three, but I only just brought out the two. So this is like the remaining scobies.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah. I see. That's big enough. That should be big enough.
and this is another one. I
There.
have
That should be big
three.
enough.
I just only brought out two. So yeah, I don't think it's because my scobies are small or whatever. Maybe at that time they were too small, but now they have so much scobies that I don't know what to do with them.
Yeah. That's quite a lot. How many liters are there in those batches?
Each one is 1 liter. Each jar is 1 liter.
Just 1 liter?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so these are my thoughts, like
Let me
my
return
first
these.
thoughts when I see your setup. So the scobies are big enough, but like if those jars are just 1 liter, you're like not drinking enough at all. You should be drinking like much more than that. You should have at least um 8 liters or something like that brewing at the same time. So you can take 3 cups a day.
8 liters.
Yeah, maybe you should be brewing like 8 liters at the same time. You can do that by getting two gallons, two different gallon jars.
Okay. Sorry, had to return them. All right, so yeah, each one of those jars is just a liter. So,
All
um,
right.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
yeah.
I really, really want to help you out with this, man. Like you don't know how much I want to help you. So this is what would have happened if I had done what you are doing right now. Um, the amount of kombucha that you're drinking, if I were to drink that, I would get like a 20% reduction in odor, maybe 30 at most, something like that. But that would definitely not get rid of my smell, not at all, like impossible. So I'm not surprised at all that it's not like eliminating your smell actually. So that's my thoughts about that. I would really, really recommend you to get 2 gallons, brew those at the same time. Make sure you're always like checking off your to-do list. Drink 3 cups of kombucha, and to make sure that the taste of the kombucha is okay, is correctly done. To make it extra sure, then try the kombucha, and if it's not burning your mouth because of the acid, then you could ferment it a little bit more.
Uh, okay. I'm just. I know this. My jar has 12 cups, so maybe I gave the wrong information.
Oh, okay. Yes, that's almost 2.8 liters. So you're doing like 5 liters, and you could subtract a little bit more because sometimes you run out. So you actually maybe like doing even less. Um, and you also said that
Okay.
that it was very sugary and not that vinegary. So that's like a clear sign that it's not potent enough.
Yeah. Okay. So looking
Potency
at
is
Google.
so important. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just saying, looking at Google, it says that 1 liter is 4.2 cups, and I know that's
Yes.
bigger than that. I know my jar holds more than that. I think it holds 16
Yeah.
cups.
Okay.
Um,
So yeah.
so
Okay.
so that means maybe that means how much liters in gallon? How much gallon?
I think 4 liters or something like that.
Liters in a gallon. Okay. So 1 gallon holds 3.78. So pretty much almost 4 liters. So yeah, that's how much one of my jars is. I think my jar is a gallon jar. Now they gotta
Mm,
go. Now they gotta go to Amazon and check if it was a gallon jar. Hold on a second.
yeah.
I think it was. While I'm looking into it, so you're saying that you tried Kefir and it didn't, you got worse reactions?
Yes. Yes. No, I could smell myself, so I knew like right away if it did something. Like I could clearly tell exactly how much anything affected me, or if it didn't at all.
And you're saying before you started drinking kombucha?
No, I first. Okay, let me tell you the story. I started drinking kombucha before kefir. Then I got cured. Then after a few months, I decided to stop drinking kombucha to see what would happen. After a few weeks, I started to get symptoms again, which means that if I stop drinking kombucha in the long term, I start to get symptoms. So that means that my gut, taking probiotics, my gut slowly starts to lose its microbial microorganism balance, and I started to get diarrhea, like all the TMAU related symptoms, bad smell. So I'm basically like constantly having to drink kombucha at least, like can't stop for 3 weeks. So I stopped 3 weeks, and when I started getting a little bit of symptoms again, I decided to try out kefir to see if it would help. And I brew my kefir. I like spent weeks making sure that kefir was really potent, that it was correctly made, that my grains were big as hell.
You're breaking up.
I could like rule out.
I don't know if I'm breaking up on your end, but you were sort of breaking up. But go ahead.
What?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, the video was breaking up on my end when I was listening to you.
oh, sorry about that. So okay, let me say it again. So I had TMAU, then I started drinking kombucha, then I got cured for months, then I stopped taking kombucha for 3 weeks, and my symptoms, my smell started to come back a little bit. I talk about this in one of my videos. So when that happened, I started drinking kefir to see if my TMAU would get cured again. It didn't. It actually made my smell worse after I drank a little bit of kefir. And I made sure that my grains were very big and they were brewing very potent kefir. I tried to get the best milk I could, but it wasn't organic. It was just pasteurized milk, which is supposed to work, but it didn't. Um, and I just decided to drop it off because I wanted to smell good. So I got back on the kombucha, and within minutes, I swear, within minutes, like my smell started to go away, and I was cured again really, really quickly.
Well, uh, well, I do want to say this. I just actually went on my Amazon thing, and yeah, I do have 1 gallon glass jars. So each of them hold at least around like.
So you have like 7 liters, maybe.
Well, I technically have four, but I use three glass gallon glass jars. So that means I have almost 9 to
Okay.
12 liters.
All right. Then you're good if you have that many jars. But like as you said, if you're drinking 1 cup, then maybe your room is too cold and it's not fermenting fast enough, and you cannot take the daily amounts that are required to get cured. Because if your room is warm, kombucha will ferment very quickly, and maybe 3 gallons is enough. But maybe if your room is cold, or for some reason your scobies aren't that quick at fermenting, maybe you'd have to get 4 gallons just to make sure, like, just get the amount of gallons necessary so that you can make sure you're drinking 3 very, very potent cups per day. That's like the only thing like you should care about. 3 extremely potent cups a day.
Yeah, like I said before, like well, I don't think cool air is a reason, because I live in Miami and it's
Okay,
very
yeah,
warm
yeah, yeah.
majority of the time. Usually it's like 80 degrees. So cold air is not really a factor. But yeah, I think majority of the reason is because I just don't. After I just ran out like last week of the black tea, I didn't buy any more. So I just wait till I get a check, and I'll see if there's a difference, because my scobies are huge.
Yeah, your scobies are definitely pretty big. You're
So
right on that one. Yeah.
and we'll see what happens with that. So I'm pretty sure it's not going to be as sour. I mean, yeah, it's not going to be as sugary as it was when I put 2.5 cups into one batch of
Yeah,
kombucha.
yeah, yeah. Actually, yeah, because you did that just right after buying the SCOBY, right?
Yeah, I did like maybe 2 or 3 weeks after buying the SCOBY and made the kombucha. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That definitely confirms that a SCOBY that young, like, I should have said this in my video, but a SCOBY that young is not gonna be able to ferment that much sugar in 3 weeks. So should have said that, but now I know. Yeah.
So at this moment, you feel that the only thing that can actually eliminate your odor is just drinking kombucha. When you tried to do the kefir thing, you try to create your own homemade kefir. How long have you tried it out? And how
Mm,
many cups did you drink?
I did it for weeks, and I was drinking like at least 2 cups or something like that. Yeah, but for many weeks, and I didn't see like improvements. So
Yeah, the reason why I feel like store-bought kefir is better is because I think they have better technology to really ferment the milk, or maybe they're actually using organic unpasteurized milk when they do the kefir fermentation process. Whereas for other people, or for just regular people, all we can do is buy organic, if we can find organic, or just regular milk that's pasteurized. I think they can create it better, or ferment kefir better. That's why if you ever actually drink store-bought kombucha, not store-bought kombucha, store-bought kefir, like there's a different consistency. It's thicker. It's like yogurty, has a yogurty type of thing. Whereas
yes,
if
it
you make
tastes
your own,
very differently. Yeah, I've tried the sour kefir, but
yeah,
I just drank like I tried it twice, so it's not like enough to say that it doesn't work. But when after I tried it, like I didn't see any difference. But when I took like a cup of kombucha, the difference I could tell like within minutes. But with the store-bought kefir, that wasn't the case. But maybe over the long term, you're right.
well, I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't know either.
The only thing I can definitely say is there's a percentage of people who had success with kefir, and there's a percentage of people who have success with kombucha. Now there
Yeah.
are a number of people who say it was ineffective. So my thinking is it could be the fact that they didn't drink it enough, or they didn't drink a lot of it, or it could be the fact that they might have something else that's
Yes,
where it's not really a
that could
digestive
also
issue.
be it. That could also be it. Like, um, maybe it could be that they have like you know, they lack different types of bacteria or something like that. Like, there are many possibilities.
Yeah.
Um, but I think that so far, at least from the evidence that I've gathered, the most likely thing to work is kombucha for most people, at least.
So you communicated with a lot of people on the Discord, and they said kombucha was more effective than consuming the kefir.
Okay, so I talk with TMAU sufferers regularly, and most people when they do kombucha, they always, like, for some reason they always do it wrong the first times. They always they always tell me so many things that are wrong with how they do it. First of all, they nobody I ever talked to was drinking the full 3 potent cups, because that takes a little bit of growing your SCOBY. They always, when I asked if they saw my videos and if they did it, they always tell me like, no, I was drinking 1 cup. No, my kombucha isn't that vinegary. Um, but some people have told me they think they're seeing results. It's been with kombucha, never with kefir. So yeah. And more
Hmm.
questions about that? Any details or anything?
Any questions? The only questions I actually have is, uh, well, I don't really have any. I do have questions, but it's questions that you probably can't answer. I don't think Josh could answer either because one of the things
Yeah.
that always bother me is the fact that I don't know how many, like, there are some articles that tell you, okay, Kefir has about somewhere about 1 tablespoon or some tablespoon has
Yeah.
about 500
Hmm.
billion CFUs and stuff like that. But I was curious as to what were they referencing it from? Were they referencing it from a store-bought kefir? Were they referencing it from somebody's home organic kefir? Is that always going to be the case when you create a home organic kefir? And what about kombucha? There really isn't that much information about how much bacteria it carries in whatever measurement. I know with I gotta go back and get this. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna
It's
just
exactly 363.6354 per cubic centimeter. Just kidding.
hold on. I was just retrieving this thing. Hold
Yeah.
on. So, if you ever got GTS kombucha
Okay.
raw, in the back it says it said something. It said something where it had like it only has like one. Oh yeah, here it has 16 ounces per 16 ounces. It has a 1 billion organisms. So
Okay.
somehow they found out that for every 16 ounces, if you drink the store bought one, you have 1 billion.
Okay.
So comparing that to
To
Kefir, where if you
kefir.
look into more information, they have
Yeah.
500 billion.
Yeah.
So why would you feel that drinking kombucha, even though it has 500 times less, 500
Yes.
times less billion bacteria, is better than
Yeah.
kefir that
Actually
has 500 billion?
that's a very, very, very good question, because it's one of the questions that uh, I've been asking myself a lot, because when I first started my channel and I recommended kombucha, like, I never said it was better than kefir or anything like that, because I actually even thought kefir was better. Like, at least that's what it seemed like. I wasn't completely sure, obviously, but considering the numbers that Kefir has, which are ridiculously high, I thought that Kefir would be much better, but that wasn't, that didn't prove to be the case, at least in anecdotal experience. So, I mean, if it didn't help me, like, that's all I'm saying. It did not help me at all. I've talked with a lot of people it doesn't work for. So all we have is anecdotal reports.
Yeah, and at the
So
same
honestly,
time,
I don't know why. Maybe it's the strain of bacteria or something. I have no idea exactly why.
yeah, maybe everybody has like certain strains of bacteria that they are lacking, and for you, the kefir produced that type of bacteria that was able to fight whatever the thing that is causing you to have odor. And for people
Yeah,
who where kefir worked, they needed whatever strain of bacteria in that milk.
yeah.
Um,
Maybe kefir is actually pretty good. Like, I'm not saying it's not, but so far that's what I've seen. Like, maybe kefir is actually like what some people need, and some people don't have any success with kombucha and they need kefir. But I mean, honestly, like there's no way to tell. We need more people to more people to try them.
Yeah. And also with the kombucha thing, it took me a long time to make these big ass scobies. So
Hmm.
it's not like
Yeah, I should remake a tutorial and I should like talk about everything that matters because so many people have tried my tutorial and they actually like make quite a few mistakes along the way that I should have like pointed out more clearly.
okay. Yeah.
So the potency thing is so important. Your kombucha, like it needs to be potent. That's just the number one tip. If it's not gonna work. It's gonna be the same as drinking water.
It's drinking
In
water.
No, I mean it's gonna reduce maybe your smell by 5% or 10%, but potent kombucha is exponentially like stronger and more effective. Like one sip of well-made kombucha, in my experience, is better than 2 cups of not that very well-made kombucha. Like
Hmm.
that's how exaggeratedly better is to make the kombucha very potently.
Okay. Yeah. Um, for me, I don't know. I guess like when I have some money and I have more money to buy sugar and black tea, I'll try to increase the amount. But um, but I do think that's interesting that you reported that you just stopped doing it for months and he just came back.
Yes, that's because my thoughts are like this. TMAU isn't like a black or white thing. It's more like a shades of gray. And let's say you could rate your stomach health from 1 to 100. 100 being the most gut healthy person in the world, 50 being the average person, 10 being a TMAU sufferer. So to stop smelling, you don't have to go up to 50. You just have to go up to like maybe 20 and then you stop smelling. Uh, um, I think I've talked about this in my other videos, and um, this topic is also on the gut war. How the first just curing your gut a little bit, out of the 100%, that's what's gonna get rid of the smell. But there's a lot more work you can do to improve your gut. So my thought is that kombucha was able to take my gut from 10 maybe to 30. So my gut was, it was good. I don't smell, but maybe over time it's like so weak that if I stop drinking the kombucha, it starts to go down to 25, then 20, then 15, and then after a month, like it gets to 14 or something, and then I start to smell a little bit the smell.
Hmm.
So
So you
that's
don't think
maybe
you
why.
so you don't feel like you have to drink this for the rest of your life in order to smell normal?
Okay, I think that honestly, this is a very complex topic. I cannot give you an exact answer.
No one can.
Um,
I just wanted your
yeah, but I think that probably if I were to take my gut above a certain threshold where it's very healthy, the gut bacteria are the dominant species in my gut, and they're like overtaking all of my gut, um, and the bad bacteria are so few that they'll never ever taste it again. Then I don't think I'm gonna need kombucha again. But if my bad bacteria are still very dominant in my gut, they're still very strong, and and my good bacteria, even though it's good enough to get rid of all the smell, it's not that big. Then over time, the bad bacteria may be able to slowly kill them. So you need to grow maybe.
Oh man, you were breaking up.
Could you listen to me? Oh
Yeah.
shit. Where was I? Did you listen to it all?
Yeah, I was listening to it, but it was like breaking up a little bit. But basically, what you were saying is you feel
Yes.
that with the probat or with the kombucha, there's a lot of beneficial bacteria that overwhelm the bad bacteria, and over time, if you have just a surplus of good bacteria, it will always keep the bad bacteria down, and ultimately, you will
Yeah.
not smell
If
anymore.
yeah, yeah.
That's
Like you need.
interesting.
I think that to remain healthy, over time, your good bacteria has to be so much that they are able to keep the bad ones at bay, even without any extra help. So if the bad ones are still very powerful and I don't give these ones extra help, yeah, this is going to be enough to get rid of all the smell, even this maybe. But it's not going to be enough to win the battle over the long term.
Why do you feel that bad bacteria is always populating within your gut? Why do you feel like for most people there's always just a majority of negative bacteria that's possibly contributing to the odor?
Wait, what's your question?
Yeah, my question was, why do you think that bad bacteria always populates within your gut, that it always, for most people, overcomes or overwhelms their immune system to the point that they give off an odor? Because the thing is, I don't think it's only just a good bacteria, bad bacteria thing, because there's tons of people who eat unhealthy and they have bad immune systems, but they don't really give off a smell. It must be something else.
Yeah.
So it has to be like, the excess TMA that your body's not breaking down.
Yeah.
So
Okay, so I have a very nice theory about that. So the reason why some people have bad gut health and they don't smell probably has to do with the strains that they are lacking are different. Does that make sense?
the strains they're lacking are different.
For example, let's say, there's this guy with bad gut health and, he gets sick all the time, but he doesn't smell bad. Maybe he's lacking this X bacteria, and that's why he's having that problem. And, he's got some good bacteria, he's got some bad bacteria, but the point is that in his ecosystem, there's a certain bacteria that's not there almost at all. So he's having issues with that,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe if I am lacking the type of bacteria that is the TMA, even though I have the one that protects my immune system or something like that, then I'm gonna smell bad. Different case of bad gut health, I guess. And actually, like, there's something very interesting that I want to talk about. There's this guy that's my friend that has some acne problems, and I talked with him and I told him that maybe probiotics could help him out with his acne, because he told me that he got it after taking antibiotics. So I was like, that has to be the gut. He got it after antibiotics. And I told him to get some kombucha. He did it, and he says he has less acne now. So his bad gut health was probably because he was lacking something else that caused him acne.
Mm-hmm. Well, so have you ever
Well,
drank like store-bought kombucha?
lacking something that maybe one, not it. But when I tried it, like, in any case, it made me smell worse, maybe because of the caffeine. But
Okay.
because okay, something that you should actually have in mind is that kombucha has caffeine, and if you're sensitive to caffeine, or I mean, I was, in the sense that it made me smell worse, like a lot worse. So right after I took kombucha, if it wasn't very fermented, I kind of smelled worse actually for a moment because of the caffeine, just like in the short term right after taking it.
Yeah.
But I think that if your kombucha is potent enough that it really is making an impact because it is so potent, then that benefit will overtake the smell that the caffeine worsens. So even if the caffeine makes you smell a bit worse, if the kombucha is very potent, it will be worth it. Like, it's gonna make you smell less either way, in my experience.
Okay. All right. So yeah, I guess when I get a hand on some money, I will go back and try to get some more sugar and some more black tea and see what happens.
Yeah.
But
By the way, How much longer do you want to speak? Because I have a few things I want to talk about as well.
Oh yeah, I was done. I was just waiting for you to talk. What do you want to talk about?
All right. So, have you ever heard about Kratom?
About what?
Kratom. It's a drug. It's a plant called Kratom.
No.
No? Okay. Have you ever tried weed while having TMAU?
I ever
Have you ever
tried
tried
weed?
smoking weed?
No.
Okay, so I've talked with some people that weed actually makes them smell less. Some people it makes them smell worse. But the point that I wanna talk about is that drugs can change how much you smell. So there's this plant called kratom. You can research about it. It's a plant drug. It's maybe a little bit controversial, but I think it's relatively safe and it's worth it if you have TMAU because it makes you less stressed and it makes you smell much less because it's as if the chemicals that are excreted from your body um, are reduced by a very large percentage, like by quite a lot. And it's not a long-term fix, but it's a short-term quick band-aid that works extremely well that I just wanted to let you know because it can instantly make your smell go down so much.
How much? I mean, how is it spelled? Kratom?
Kratom. Okay, so Kratom.
N as in Nancy or M as in Mary?
So Kratom with K. You're gonna like Google is gonna fix it up if you type it correctly.
Kratom Corporation.
No, with M at the end.
M as in Mary, M as in Michael, or N as in Nancy or Nike?
Yeah, M as Michael.
Kratom. Okay. So I guess some people told you about them trying this thing and they
No. I tried it myself back then, and I still take it up to this day because it has many other benefits that are not TMAU related. Because it's a psychoactive drug that gives you a little bit of energy and relaxes you, makes you feel less stressed, gets you in a good mood. So I still use it, but back then when I had TMAU, I took it as well. And if, for example, say I had a social gathering and I wanted to smell less, I could take that, and for the next 3 hours, I would smell 80% less.
All right. It says here,
Because
as a medicine, kratom is used for anxiety, cough, depression, diabetes,
yes,
diarrhea, high blood pressure, pain, and to improve sexual performance. So you're getting it
yeah,
on with this kratom?
have some right here
But in
actually.
any case, so what were the
Works
other
for all
things?
of those. Works for all of the list. The other what things?
Yeah, you said there was like other things you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, Kratom because it's a game changer, a
Like,
complete game changer.
can you hear me?
I also wanted to talk about yeah. I wanted to talk about kratom, both of those, and you also take some chlorophyll, band-aid in the world. Wait, give me a second. Just my girlfriend picking up her computer. So, where was I? Oh, exercise and kratom. So, get rid of the smell as much as possible. I cannot guarantee that it will get rid of it completely. It's just a very good band-aid. It would be to take kratom and do cardio. If you do those two, like I can almost guarantee that your smell is gonna reduce by 80% or 70 or something like that. Like it's such a good band-aid.
So exercise, yeah, I always do exercise to remove the odor or to lessen the odor.
Yeah, what
Kratom,
do
I
you do?
never.
Do you take cardio?
Do I do cardio? Is bicycling cardio? I don't know if that's cardio.
Yeah, yeah. Do you sweat a lot?
Oh yeah, I definitely sweat a lot. So, yeah, I always do that. I've been doing that since I was 21. I figured that out. Like, sweating out the odor makes you smell less. I figured that out like years ago. So that's why. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, you
Never heard of
figured
the
it
cardio.
out years ago. Yeah, a lot of people know about that.
So yeah, we both agree about the sweating thing. Um, what made you? How did you stumble upon Kratom?
Um, I was actually looking for with anxiety, depression, and mental health, but I didn't want to like go to the psychiatrist and get pills or something like that. So kratom is like a softer alternative to taking stuff for anxiety and depression. And I stumbled with it because of that, because I wanted to be more productive and improve my mood. Because when you're anxious and depressed, it's really hard. And add on top that you have TMAU, and man, like if you have TMAU, like I wouldn't be surprised if you're taking like depression meds and stuff like that. Like
Right.
I've talked with a lot of people that are doing it. So kratom is like it's a really good alternative, because not only does it give you like maybe even a better effect than those meds, but it also doesn't have that many side effects unless you take a lot. And you just gotta do your research. It's excellent for anxiety, depression. It's a drug, so you have to have in mind that it has some addictive potential. So you have to moderate your
It's
consumption. You have
addictive.
to. Yes, it's a drug. Like every pharmaceutical that a psychiatrist is gonna give you is gonna be addictive, even more so than kratom. So kratom is a very good alternative to that. If you compare it to weed, for example, I would say weed could be even more addictive for some people. Of course, some people are gonna find kratom more addictive, but it's not that addictive, man. Like coffee is addictive as well. It's like more or less on that level. Like some people have crazy caffeine addictions, and rarely do I see a crazy kratom addiction. Like I've given kratom to so many friends, and it's not like any of them are that interested in like taking copious amounts of it or anything like that. Is the video too messed up?
There's sometimes within your video it's lagging, or it's not showing, it's not buffering at all, or
Yeah,
sometimes you'll see I would hear
sorry,
like
I'm gonna fix that in a second.
audio lags and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But at
All
the
right.
same time,
I'm gonna fix it right
I
now.
think you're still in Spain, so it's like,
No, don't worry. I'm gonna fix it in a second. Give me a second. Hello.
yep.
Okay, now it should work much better.
All right.
Or maybe not, but yeah. So what were you saying before the audio thing?
I don't even remember. I'm just waiting for you. Like you said, what were the other things that you wanted to discuss? If that was,
Okay.
or were those the two things you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, because those were the two main things. I don't know if there was anything else, but those two things are like, if you take chlorophyll, do cardio and sweat a lot. If you can go into a sauna, that's gonna be so great. And then also take kratom. Like this is not a cure at all, but it's gonna
Right.
be such a powerful band-aid that you can take on top of your very potent kombucha treatment. And if your smell hasn't reduced by 90%, like I'd be very surprised. I'd be very surprised, because those three together are so great. Like they're so great band-aids. They're so great. Like I need to emphasize that so much. Something that is really important to have in mind about the kratom is that there are actually different types of kratom. There are some kratom types, because there are different strains. Some types are more energetic and they give you some energy. Others are more relaxing and they eliminate stress. the ones that are good for TMAU are the relaxing ones. So those are the red types of Kratom because there are different colors with different effects. So red Kratom is where it's at.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, I definitely can agree with the chlorophyll and the exercise stuff, because that's the stuff I found out years ago. I never heard of Kratom. We're definitely gonna try the kombucha stuff. I know it's probably like 11 or 12 o'clock in your area right now. So I guess we'll end it right now.
No,
Cause
don't
I'm at,
worry about it. If it's because of that, I mean, I sleep at 6 a.m. That's when I go to bed.
really, what the fuck?
When
Why?
the sun is rising, I start to go to bed.
You have a night
Because
job?
no, but I usually work at night because I wake up at like 2 p.m. or something, and during the first, like if I were to wake up at 8 a.m., I swear that for some reason I feel so tired in the morning that I have such a hard time concentrating, and I just don't feel very creative. I'm not like in a very creative mind flow. I could do some repetitive tasks or some exercise, but I write, so it's not easy to write when you're not in the right mindset. And at night, for some reason, like my creativity and my capacity to write is much better. So that's why.
Holy shit, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Like I didn't used to do this that much, but with the coronavirus crisis, with the lockdown, um, every week I was adding 1 hour to the how late I would sleep.
Wow. How's it like in Spain at the moment?
The
Is it
what?
better for coronavirus?
It's
Do you
getting
still have
better.
lockdown?
We still have lockdown for 2 more weeks.
For 2 more weeks.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's not really that. I don't know how severe it is in your area, but I don't think it's that severe in Miami. I mean, you can't go to. I don't know if there's beaches. I guess there are beaches in Spain. Um, but all the beaches are closed and stuff like that. But
Yeah, there's
I think they're
close
trying
here
to
too.
reopen them.
No, we can't even get out of our homes.
How do
If
you
they
get
see you outside of your house, if they see you're not locked down, and you don't have like a very very important reason, like a medical reason or an emergency, they will fine you with 600 euros.
Oh shit, that's crazy. So how do you
So
get like groceries?
that's the only thing you can do. That's like the only thing you can do. Grocery, pharmacy, hospital for some reason. Just things that you need to do.
Yeah, those are the only like businesses that are open, like grocery stores and stuff. Movie theaters not really open, or anything like of entertainment is not really open at
Hmm.
all. And I don't know if
Isn't that
AMC
kind of great though
Hmm?
for the TMAU life? Isn't that kind of like better?
I think it is. I think it's definitely better, especially if you're working and now you can work from home. It's
Yeah,
way better. I'm working from home too. It's the greatest shit ever. Um,
yeah, for sure.
but yeah, at the same time, like I know I don't know if you're like into sports or anything like that, but you can't watch sport. I'm pretty sure you can't watch sports anymore because basketball
Yeah.
and all this other sports in America are postponed and stuff like that. So I don't know if you're like a sports
Hmm.
fanatic.
I mean, I'm not like a hardcore sports fanatic, but I sometimes like to watch like basketball videos.
Hmm.
But I'm not that much of a fanatic at all. I just like have some fun watching like highlights every now and then.
What do you think? Do you feel like this is going to, like, after the coronavirus disappears or
Hmm.
some shit? Do you feel that there's going to be certain things that are going to be permanent? For example, do you feel like certain jobs are now just going to still permanently allow work at home because it's saving more money, because they don't have to have office space and it's still productive? Like, what are your thoughts about that?
I mean, I cannot tell for sure, but I think like um, remote working is gonna be more popular than before
Yeah.
for sure. Like people are. are taking the time right now, and businesses are taking the time to teach those skills to their um, employees. So after the crisis, they're still gonna have the skills, and they may find out that it's actually better if they're not there. So I think there are gonna be more remote positions, probably.
Yeah, I definitely believe so too.
You're interested
But
in that, right? Because you would rather have like a remote work.
I would, yeah, I would rather have a remote work. I would rather have remote work. I can be at my house or apartment or whatever and do whatever I want.
Yeah, not
Um,
be stressed about it all the time.
exactly. But I would rather be cured than anything
For
else.
sure, of
Uh,
course. Yeah,
but other than that, I'm gonna let you go because I have some other things that I have to
yeah,
do
for
with this.
sure. For sure,
So
man. If I'm so excited to talk about with you, and if you try the kratom thing and the exercise, and you add that on top of the chlorophyll and do the kombucha, like I'm so excited to have another talk again when you're doing that.
yeah, I am definitely going. I mean, I already do the chlorophyll and the exercise, but I'm
Yeah,
definitely gonna do
should do. Yeah,
the uh, the potent or do the
yeah.
kombucha stuff again.
That's the main thing for sure.
All right, I'll see you later, Salvador.
All right, see you.